I want to welcome you guys to our May board meeting. I call this meeting of the Bastrop Independent School District to order. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present, that this meeting has been duly called, and notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. Would you please stand and join me in the pledges? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Texas pledge.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Remain standing for a moment, please. I'd like to call Pastor Bob Long up. He's going to lead us in prayer tonight. It's from the Bastrop Ministerial Alliance.
Lord God in heaven, we just thank you for this day. We thank you for the opportunity we have to come before you tonight with Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving for a good school year that's almost over. We pray for all the students to be safe at the end of this year. And we know that it'll be a great time for the teachers as well as the students to have a break. And for those that are going on, Lord, to bigger and better things, Lord, we just ask that you bless them and guide them and direct them. We also pray, Lord God, for new board members and the new board. We ask that you bless those, give them wisdom tonight as a board to make good and godly decisions for the future of Bastrop Independent School District. I thank you, Lord God, for your presence here. We just believe that you will do your work and accomplish your will here tonight. Lord God, I want to thank you for a beautiful spring, great rain, and Lord, keeping us from storms that are too bad. We just are grateful. And we pray in your name tonight, Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Pastor Long. Appreciate it. Thank you. I'd like to go ahead and call Judge Poppy up. Judge Poppy's here to administer the oath. I'd like to also call up Kelly Seacatz. Ladies first.
In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas, I, Kelly Seacatz, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of BISD Board Trustee, Place 2 of the state of Texas, and will do to the best of my ability preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution. Preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution. And the laws of the United States. And of the state of Texas. So help me God. Congratulations.
After 3 years, you're going to need to build an addition on your house. These are really big. You can ask James, how many of these, James? You have several of them, so yeah. But we hope that you enjoy that, and we are just so proud that you are a new member of the team.
And join us up here, Kelly.
Turn, Mr. Brown.
One more time.
She's going around, I think.
So you've said this enough times I could just read the whole thing. Well, let's give it a try. In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas, I, James Allen, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the duties
shall faithfully execute the duties
of the office of BISD Board of Trustees, Place One,
of the office of BISD Board of Trustees, Place One,
of the state of Texas,
of the state of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
and will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws of
of the United States of America
the United States of America
and of the great state of
and
Texas.
the great state of Texas.
So help me
So
God.
help me God.
God bless you.
Judge Poppy, thank you very much. Appreciate you coming out.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you for coming.
Different view.
Yeah, it is.
Ain't lived much more space.
Now we're going to move on down the agenda and hopefully get to the fun part of the meeting, which is going to be a lot of recognitions. But first, we've got a little more business to take care of. Once a year, we reorganize the board. And in our pre-agenda meeting on last Thursday, we talked about it a little bit, and people decide, do you want to be an officer on the board? Do you not want to be an officer on the board? And it's kind of tossed around a little bit. But I will go ahead and open it up for nominations for president.
Fellow board members and Bastrop County, it'll be my pleasure and my honor to nominate James Allen as our president.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to nominate James Allen as the president for one more year. One more year.
Yeah.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay. Motion carries.
Congratulations.
That wasn't you saying nay, was it?
I didn't say anything. Happy to do it. Now we will. I'll take a nomination for the vice president of the board.
I nominate Mr. Ashley Muchink for vice president.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded to nominate Ashley Munchnik as the board vice president for the next coming year. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Say no. Motion carries. Congratulations, Ashley. Now we'll move on to secretary of the board will be the last office.
I would like to move that Molly McClure be appointed Secretary of the Board of Trustees of Bastrop Independent School District.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that Molly McClure be the board secretary for the next coming year. All those, any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Congratulations, Molly. Molly, actually, the pay's the same as the other board members. So, in case
Signed a lot of stuff.
in case you're wondering. Now I'd like to call a fifth grader up from Cedar Creek Intermediate School. Her name's Trestlyn Roberts. She's going to come up tonight. She's going to speak on integrity. A little bit about Trestlyn before we get started. She loves to shop. She loves to play basketball. She loves to go to church and spend time with her family and friends. She also loves going to PE and playing. If Trestlyn's parents are here, Christy and Joe, could you please stand to be recognized? Take it away, Trestlyn.
Integrity to me is the most important character trait. Integrity comes from the word integer. It means to uphold
Thank you. I know your principal's back there smiling from ear to ear. Great job representing Cedar Creek Elementary.
Intermediate. Knew that was coming. I
I'm
knew
sorry.
that was coming.
I'm sorry. I misspoke. Cedar
Sean's
Creek
in the room,
Intermediate.
by the way.
We're going to move on, and we're going to let Superintendent Murray introduce his Student Advisory Council.
Each month, we have the pleasure of having representatives of the Student Advisory Council from each of our two high schools, Bastrop High School and Cedar Creek High School, with us in advisory to the board. And tonight's a little special. We have some students who have been with the board before. We've asked them to come back. And we live stream our board meetings each month anyway, but you're going to see some special filming going on because we have been selected to present at the TASB annual convention in October in Austin. It's a yearly convention. It's the only convention in the state of Texas that brings administrators, superintendents, principals, other central office staff, and school board members together to learn and to grow. And so we've been invited to present once again at that conference as we have had in the past. And so some of these students will be involved in that presentation. Some of them are moving on and won't be around. They'll be in college. So, and we're going to talk to them a little bit about that. But we're going to do some special filming today, and we're going to do some special filming next month in June, then again in August and September to get ready and do some film segments for that presentation that we're going to do in October. So without further ado, I will have these students get up and introduce themselves because, I'm not going to let them off that easy. Mike's that way. Well, we can pass the mic, Hannah. And I'm going to let you start, Destiny.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Destiny Higgins. I'm a senior at Bastrop High School. I've been on the council for 4 years, and when I graduate, I plan to attend Texas A&M Corpus Christi to major in child psychology.
Good evening. My name is Robert Stasuli. I'm a senior at Bastrop High School. I've been on the board for 1 year, and when I graduate, I plan to attend Austin Community College for my basics and transfer into Texas A&M.
Good evening. My name is Kat Cerna. This is my first year being on the council, and I'm a junior. And this is my first school board meeting, so hey.
If I don't fall over. My name is Hannah Thompson. I'm a sophomore at Cedar Creek High School. This is my second year on the council, and as you can tell, I'm Mr. Murray's favorite.
Yeah, I forgot to warn everybody. It's just about as dangerous to give her a mic as it is Sean Adams. So, yeah, Sean, I know you're in the room. Yes, she said make sure she's from Cedar Creek too. Tell everybody, right? Kat also is at Cedar Creek. She forgot to tell everybody. But like I said, we're going to do some special filming today, and I may ask some questions. The board will certainly ask some questions of these students, and that's what we typically do at a regular board meeting. It could be something about an item that's on the agenda. It might be something in general about what they're getting out of the council or what they're getting out of school life at their respective high school. So we appreciate y'all being here tonight, and there's no telling what we're going to ask you. So get ready, okay?
You continue, Superintendent Murray, with your recognitions.
Yes, and I want to make sure we do something that wasn't on my notes here, but we want to make sure we do it because we haven't had a chance to introduce this young lady to the public yet, not officially, and she will be here full-time starting on Thursday of this week, and she's been here back and forth between her prior district and here in Bastrop. Our new Executive Director for Communications, Ms. Emily Parks. Emily? Emily comes our way from Hutto ISD, not too far away. She was once a hippo, Hutto hippo. Now you have to be an eagle and a bear. That's right. We will train you well. Yeah. Congratulations and welcome. Next, we have some other folks that we want to recognize. Last month, I was able to do this in an impromptu fashion for one of our principals who's retiring after many years of service to not only the students in Bastrop ISD, but to students in the state of Texas. And we want to do that again tonight for another
a couple of special ladies who are retiring after many years of service to both Bastrop ISD students and to students in Texas in many capacities. And I think both of these ladies are here tonight. Hopefully they are. First, we want to bring up our principal of Bastrop Middle School, Ms. Sammy Kinsey. Sammy? Yeah, Sammy, you got to come out. I got to brag on you a little bit, okay? That's right. Sammy came our way from not too far away. She's been in the community for a long time, but she's worked in Del Valley for many years before she came our way in Bastrop a few years back, and we asked her to lead Bastrop Middle School, and she has done so in an exemplary fashion. She really has, and so much so, not just the superintendent saying that, not just the folks in our own district, the people in Central Texas and Region 13 felt the same way because she was selected as the Region 13 Middle School Principal of the Year this past year.
I'd just like to thank you for letting me serve you and your students. It's been a great way to end, and Bastrop's a great community. My kids are wonderful, and the parents are wonderful, so thank y'all very much. And I'm looking forward to new adventures, but I appreciate it so much. This is a great way to do something different.
Sammy, thank you, and congratulations on your retirement. We have another honoree tonight who's retiring after many years of service to Bastrop ISD in several capacities as a principal, as a coordinator, as a director, and Tessie is just one of the sweetest people I know. She always has a smile for me in the hallway, and a lot of times I need that smile in the hallway with some of the things that we have to deal with. But Tessie Young, please come forward. We'd like to give you due recognition. Tessie, I'm going to let you tell them, I know when you started, where you started, and how many things you've done for us here in Bastrop ISD.
Started a long time. I've been here for 23 years.
23 years.
I started out in New Mexico and then moved here and worked. When I came here, there were 2 elementary schools, 1 middle school, and 1 high school. So I've seen the district grow. So I came as an assistant principal at Mina and then was assistant principal at Emile. Then I had the pleasure of opening Hill Street Elementary, and people are like, what is Hill Street Elementary? Well, it was kind of weird. The board divided Mina, and Cedar Creek opened, and so we had 2 elementaries kind of across the street, and so I got to open and supervise Hill Street, and then we opened Red Rock Elementary, so I went to open that campus. It was the joke that I was the principal that would open all the schools, but it was fun. And then I got the coordinator position for programs and then became the director. And so I've had 23 wonderful, wonderful years in Bastrop, and it is bittersweet that I am leaving. But again, like Sammy, I'm looking forward to new adventures, so thank you so much.
Tessie, thank you for everything. Mr. Willoughby, you ready? We have a lot of recognition, and we love doing that.
Yes, sir. Here we go. Mr. Murray, thank you for the opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen of the board, thank you for the opportunity to recognize our student athletes tonight. Mr. Allen, welcome back on behalf of 83 coaches in the district and the VISD Athletic Department. Thank you for your service. Ms. Seacatz, welcome to the board, and we look forward to working with you. To begin with, we'll start with Bastrop High School tennis. Bastrop High School tennis program is coached by Ms. Kristen Parnell and assisted by Mr. Robert Artis. One of the doubles competition here, first place in District 26-5A, Ms. Brenda Sanchez and her partner Alexa Ashby could not be with us tonight, but they won first place in the doubles competition for girls in District 26-5A and advanced to regionals, and the second place finisher in girls singles competition for District 26-5A advancing to regionals was Miss Ashley Westbrook. Thank you, girls.
Congratulations.
Cedar Creek baseball, Cedar Creek High School baseball coming in, head coach John Moore.
All right.
Cedar Creek High School baseball team and head coach John Moore, assisted by Coach Kenny Matthews, Brett Hoffman, and Mario Estrada. They were the District 26 5A runner-up and by-district qualifiers this year after the season. They had 4 first-team all-district selections, and these selections are voted upon by the coaches in the district of the other schools, and that's recognizing their accomplishments in competition on the field. 4 first-team all-district selections: Connor Hamilton, Chance Medina, Pat Vardell, and Bailey Watley. Congratulations. The Eagles also have the District 26 5A Newcomer of the Year award in Bryce Wyatt. Coach Moore can boast of 7 academic all-district selections. That's players who have maintained a 90 average throughout the season this year. And we have Mr. Connor Hamilton, Logan Lopez, Chance Medina, Chris Moit, Cameron Stahl, Bailey Watley, and Bryce Wyatt. We also have an academic all-state nomination, and that's for a student who has maintained an A average from their freshman year all the way throughout competition. And that nominee, we're waiting on the word back, and we fully anticipate that he'll be accepted to that, and that's Mr. Connor Hamilton.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Next, we'll have Bastrop High School baseball. The Bastrop High School baseball team is coached by head coach Cody Walker and assisted by Coach Alberto Guzman, David Schaefer, and Richard Brown, who could not be with us because Coach Patman has him on the football field right now. Coach Walker and his team qualified for the by-district playoffs, finishing 4th place in District 26 5A, and they have 2 first-team all-district selections in Mr. Mason Holmesley and Bradley McKellop. More importantly, we can speak to the achievements of 6 academic all-district selections that are honored, and again, that's for maintaining a 90 average throughout the season. Matthew Alhorn, Zane Coy, Tyler Malone, Nick Maxwell, Bradley McKellop, and Cody Van Clark, academic all-district. Congratulations on your season, gentlemen. Thank you.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you. Bastrop High School softball is next. The Bastrop High School Lady Bears softball team is coached by head coach Teresa Morgan with her assistants James Bain and Caleb McCreary. The Lady Bears were by-district qualifiers and were selected to participate in the by-district round, where they played a tough match against a very good team and came up just a little bit short, but we're excited about the opportunities and possibilities of the future. The Bastrop Bears have 3 first-team all-district selections in Kylie Holmesley, Alexis Gonzalez, and Aaron Mosley. Again, these selections are made by the opposing coaches in the district, and they've also recognized the District 26 5A Newcomer of the Year award in Emelinda Escobedo. The Lady Bears have 9 academic all-district selections: Whitney Andrus, Alexis Gonzalez, Kylie Holmesley, Madison Jackson, Destiny McKellop, Aaron Mosley, Caitlin Navarro, Caitlin Pace, and Mackenzie Pace. They also have 1 academic all-state nomination, and we're waiting for the response on that, and we fully anticipate that she'll be accepted, Miss Whitney Andrus. Thank you, ladies. Congratulations on a good year.
Congratulations, ladies.
Congratulations.
Cedar Creek softball, Cedar Creek Lady Eagles softball team. The Lady Eagles softball team is led by head coach Rebecca Sharkey and assisted by Miss Myra Escamilla, Philip Walker, Miss Kelsey Jones, and Miss Stacia Snyder. The Lady Eagles softball team are the District 26 5A district champions. Also a first for the campus, they are also the by-district champions. Another first for the campus, they are the area champions, going 3 rounds. So they finished their season as regional quarterfinalists, and they boast 4 first-team all-district selections voted on by the coaches in the district. The first-team all-district selections are Miss Stephanie Hyatt, Lexi Ramsch, Michaela Adams, and Callie Poswing. First-team selections. The team also has 2 superlative award winners in the District 26 5A Defensive Player of the Year, Miss Shelby Houston. They also have the District 26 5A Most Valuable Player in Miss Kirsten Pruitt. The Lady Eagles have 7 academic all-district selections: Lexi Ramsch, Clara Dugan, Sarah Vout, Shannon Klaus, Stephanie Hyatt, Callie Poswing, and Kirsten Pruitt, academic all-district. They also have 2 academic all-state nominees in Miss Clara Dugan and Lexi Ramsch. Ladies, before you go, we didn't have a chance to do it during the year and after the game just because the district hadn't been decided yet. District 26 5A representatives in Austin sent us your trophy. We'd like to present you and your coach with your district championship trophy today.
All right.
Congratulations, ladies. Congratulations on a good year. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
It's a lot of championships right there.
Congratulations.
We have Cedar Creek High School track and field.
Congratulations.
Extremely proud of this group of young athletes, student athletes, in the track and field. The Cedar Creek Eagles were led by head coach Victoria Dudgeon, assisted by her husband Danny Dudgeon, Sandy Gabriel, Stephen Morales, Lance Herring, Daniel Brown, and Elizabeth Hall. This group has grown over the past couple of years and has really shown a lot of grit and fortitude on the track, and we're very glad and anticipate a lot more growth coming in the future, because track is one of those events and activities that it doesn't take a lot of skill, it takes a lot of effort. And they have it, and they showed it. And they went to these competitions, they went to these track meets, and they grinded out with several larger schools and that had more athletes, and they held their own, and we're very proud of them. And we can say that out of this season's track team, we had 16 area qualifiers to advance to the area round. From this group, we also had 2 regional qualifiers. Mr. Michael Vallejo ran the 3,200 meters. That's 2 miles. That's a long way around the track several times. And he couldn't be with us tonight. He's at the academic awards. And we also have Mr. Trevor Roberts, who ran the 300-meter hurdles. You guys set a standard for this year, and we look forward to seeing you compete in the future and bringing out several of your peers and athletes, so that way we continue to grow this program, and that way we can do a lot more great things in the future. Thank you very much, Coach, on a great year.
Congratulations.
Last but not least, we have the Bastrop High School track and field team. The Bastrop High School track and field team is led by my friend and head coach Stephen Mayberry, assisted by Coach Kim Miller, Chad Seitz, Gary Halliburton, Jimmy Henson, Ryan Henry, Nicole Creek, and Lance Wright. They are the District 26 5A boys and girls champions for the district. From this team, we had several, and when I say several, I mean too many to list, that we had several area meet qualifiers, but these kids, again, competed throughout district, competed for their team, earned a lot of points, and were able to advance to the regional, to the area round, and competed very well there. From that group, the BHS girls team were crowned the Region 4 champions in the state track meet down in San Antonio. The regional qualifiers who competed in San Antonio: Gloria Alicia Carter, Taylor Langley, Ashley Alhorn, Reniqua Higgins, Macy Cana, Adonis Davis, Ricardo Contreras, Alex Leyva, Reagan Carter, Jaden Watson, Ben Flores, Hailey Lacumbe, Jacob Reed, Kristen Rhodes, Razianne Moore, and Kenneth Lemuel. Regional qualifiers. Again, the girls were named the regional champions, and from that group, the first and second place finishers in those divisions and those events got to advance to state. And we have several state meet qualifiers. We have the girls 800-meter relay team who placed 5th. And I will say a little bit about that. They went into that meet in 7th place. And we're talking about the fastest girls in the state, and they pulled out a 5th place finish when nobody thought they could. They did extremely well. That's Taylor Langley, Lily Carter, Ashley Alhorn, Reniqua Higgins, and Macy Cana. We have a state finisher in the triple jump. This young lady did not triple jump all year until we got to the district meet. And then coach says, hey, let's jump, we'll then see how you do. So she started jumping before the district meet. And she makes it to state. And I had a chance to
He said great coaching.
Great coaching. Lily Carter competed in the triple jump, finished 7th with a distance of 38 feet, 6 1/4 inches. We had another person to compete in the long jump and finish 3rd. And this is an event that she didn't practice a whole lot in. I mean, she was good at it, and it was just kind of one of those extra things that she did. And we decided, well, let's see how she does. She did real well in the district. She went to regionals, and she competed at the state event, finished 3rd place, bronze medalist with a long jump of 18 feet, 5 inches, Miss Lily Carter. We also have Miss Lily Carter. She was the defending state champion in the 200-meter race. And she came back in, and Coach was telling me that the previous times from other girls around the state were a little bit quicker. But I tell you what, Lily got on the line, and she ran a heck of a race. Came out of the curve a little bit behind, and she turned the afterburners on, and she finished 1,000th of a second. And this is how close. The winner had a time of 24.456 seconds. 0.456. They rounded up to 24.46. Lily ran a flat 24.460, 0.004 of a second. Second place, silver medalist Lily Carter. The girls as a team finished tied for 11th place in state with 18 points at the state meet. All of those girls will be recognized as all-state competitors, and we also have 3 academic all-state competitors on the track team: Taylor Langley, Ashley Alhorn, and Macy Cana.
All right.
Coach, congratulations on a fantastic year.
Coach, hold on a second. Mark, just want to say to the young ladies and the young men, a great job all year. I go to the state track meet each year. I have for many years, just because it's phenomenal performances. The individual performances, the team performances are just some of the greatest things you can see in high school sports. But it's really special when the superintendent gets to go see their own kids competing at state. So I just want to say congratulations. It was a thrill for me to watch y'all run the other night. Thanks. Thanks, Mark. All right. Good. No blue sheets? We're good? No blue sheets?
Man, that's great.
Good afternoon. My name is Marguerite Schaefer, and I'm the robotics coach at Bastrop High School. Over here I have some of our team, and since we're such a small group, I just want them to say their name and grade. So introduce yourself.
I'm Aaron, and I'm a sophomore.
Hi, my name is Matt, and I'm a freshman.
I'm Anthony, I'm a senior. I'm Alex, and I'm a sophomore.
Freshman.
Lane Wood, junior.
Emily, sophomore.
And we just wanted to celebrate the best robot that we had ever made with you all. So without further ado, I'm going to let Emily explain what this year's game was for robotics.
So this year, the goal of our game was to pick up these yellow and gray totes, put them in stacks, and put them in a position at which they can be scored. We would then take the green trash cans, put them on top of the stacks so they could be scored as well, and sometimes for extra points, they could put a pool noodle in that can.
So it was a very exciting game, and they designed a robot that I hope you saw outside that met this year's challenge, and we were super excited. Lane's also going to talk about the skills, the new skills that we learned this year.
So we have a lot of skills that we learned in the past 2 years, but this year we came up with 3 new ones that a lot of the older and much better teams have been doing. We have Mecanum wheels, which allow us to not just drive in more than 2 directions, forward and backwards, but to left and right, as well as this allows us to move without having to make long turns and taking more time. We also installed and programmed our own sensors. That way our lift can move up and down and stop where we want it to, rather than us having to constantly watch the robot and wait for just the right time. And finally, we also installed pneumatics. So we take air pressure, and our arms will open and close due to the airflow increasing and decreasing the pressure. That way our arms will open and close.
All right.
So we're very proud of our robot, and we wanted to thank BISD for all of their support. So thank you so much. You all have a yellow paper inviting you to Texas Robot Roundup. It is in Austin, which is not that far. So please, if you are interested in coming, my email's at the bottom, JMS, and you can sign up for a VIP. Our kids will walk you around the competition. You'll get to see all the different teams led by NASA and all the different high schools. Smithville is coming with us. So it's a lot of fun, and we really invite you to join us at the end of July. Thank you so much for your time.
Congratulations. All right.
I believe that's all the special recognitions tonight as far as students go. Now we're going to move on to superintendent's reports. And it looks like we're going to hear from Les Hudson.
As you know, we have Proclamation 2015 coming up, where we look at our books that are social studies, kindergarten through 12th grade, and math, 9th through 12th grade. We're also looking at fine arts through kindergarten through 12th grade. In your report, I put the books that were selected by the teachers. Kind of gave you an idea of the costs that we were looking at. We'll tell you that in the cover, I do explain that we have no idea how much money the state's going to give us. We don't know when we'll get that, and that will all kind of affect what we actually do when it comes time to order books. Do you have any questions?
Well, I tell you, I have a question, not for you, Mr. Hudson, but I do for some of our students, because this is a topic of conversation that we've had over the years and months. You know, have any of you all brought up, I know you've heard some of the students bring up the issues with maybe not having enough textbooks, I think in AP. Have we not talked about that in the past? Somebody want to speak to that? Hannah?
Might as well. All right. We've talked about in our previous meetings not having enough textbooks, like you said, for our AP classes, such as statistics and things along those lines. We're having students that are sharing textbooks, so they're not being allowed to take them out of class to do the homework. And it's causing problems not only with getting it done, but also with their learning. They're not having a deeper understanding of this, so it's not really useful for us to only have a class set of textbooks.
Yeah. Mr. Hudson, have you got You got a response, or we've got something we can share with? the kids?
Absolutely, we'll look into that and see what we can do, see what the state does for us whenever they.
Yeah, and I've explained to the students at our council meetings that sometimes we're given what we're given, and then we'll try to ask for more, you know, or if we've got the funding, we can possibly buy some more. But I do know we have talked about it before, especially in the AP realm. Destiny, you remember those conversations? Yeah.
I also had a question about the TI-84 calculators. As you know, they run for about $150, and some kids rent them through the school, but they're the older ones, and so the new calculators have different programs on it where you can type in different stuff. But on the ones that they're allowing us to rent, they don't do it. So I was wondering if you could look into that too.
I'll look into it, and I'll defer that to John Korb at some point, but we will look into it.
What? So we just have an upgrade that we need to look at for our calculators, right, Destiny?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hudson, I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Les. And we're going to get an update on Senate Bill 149. Ms. Nancy Roll.
Good afternoon, or good evening. At the previous meeting, we had passed out the procedures that we had to address Senate Bill 149. It has been signed by the governor now. And we have an update to the number of students who we have who are participating. Due to some students earning credits, we're now able to have between 19 and 22 students perhaps that are eligible. But we are down to 18 who are in jeopardy of not graduating because of STAR EOC assessments, and we're going to be able to have 18 of those students be able to participate in the individual graduation committee meetings. What we do know is that when we get our scores in, that we'll be able to go forward again, and it may be possible that some other students who right now are not eligible out of that 19 to 22, that if they pass an additional 1 or 2 assessments, that they also might be able to participate in the individual graduation committee meetings and therefore be able to graduate. So we're happy about that. Do you have any questions?
You have the breakdown per campus?
What campuses? Yeah, let me get my glass.
I think it's, yeah.
And that's 20 out of both schools, I guess.
Actually, 3.
It's 19 to, it's
All
out of 3 because it also includes Genesis. Martin, is Martin here? No. Martin gave his numbers as being arranged depending upon those students getting the credits. So what he says is he has 9 graduating by IGC, but he also has 3 other kids who may finish their credits in time to graduate by the individual graduation committee meetings. So that's where that variation is from the 19 to 22. Bastrop High School started with 9 and they're down to 7, and that's because we received the EOC retest scores online earlier this week, and so we were able to get those kids in the queue to graduate normally and not under the IGC committee. And then Cedar Creek High School is down to just 2 students who are going to graduate under the IGC. The other students are going to graduate regular. So it's good news.
It is good news. And a special note, I didn't get a request like this from Bastrop High School, but we did have a couple of exchange students at Cedar Creek High School, one of which serves on our Student Advisory Council. And she'd asked me several times to look into that. And I know she was just so excited about the possibility. And she met her credit requirements, and I understand through this, this bill will be allowed to walk as well.
Yes.
I know she's very excited about that.
Yeah, that's really exciting. And another thing, in case you didn't know, is that this bill is going to let students who previously did not graduate because of EOC tests to come back and appeal the school district and be able to go through this process. So they'll, even though they wouldn't have been able to walk on the stage, they're still going to be able to get a real diploma and therefore be able to participate in some things in their lives, like going on to community college and jobs, and be able to have better careers as a result of that. So we'll be going through those processes too as the state gives us more guidance.
And how far can you go back? How many years?
We don't have all of that information. I'm assuming it's under STAR, so that would be going back to students who fell under that requirement so it would be 2 years worth. This is the first graduation class?
Yeah.
Okay. So
But they
then
didn't
it would be maybe, I'm not sure.
They didn't
only
extend it
graduating.
to any tax failures.
No, but they're going to let kids who aren't.
We have a couple of seniors here. What's your thought process on that?
I think it's great that you guys have that. When my brother was graduating, it didn't exist, and he has a learning disorder, so he wasn't able to I know that if it was me in the situation, it means everything for me to walk across the stage and graduate, so I'm glad that.
Very beneficial for students who have severe test anxiety and things along those lines, where they're very smart kids, they just cannot sit down and take a test like that.
Right. And we are trying to make sure that all of this happens with enough time for students to be able to walk the stage. It's really important to us to make sure that they have that life experience and not do something in the summer.
Yeah, I would say this, Nancy. We think it's good that this happened, mainly because this senior class was the first class to start taking STAR when they did the transition from tax to STAR. And I would want to publicly applaud the governor, Governor Abbott, for signing the bill as quickly as he did, because if he had not signed it quick enough, we'd still be delayed.
Right.
So I appreciate the fact that he did that for us.
Yes, me too. It is a good thing. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now we're going to get a budget update. Ms. Callahan.
Good evening. I wish I had different news to tell you from Thursday night, but I don't. So unfortunately, you'll hear a lot of the same. One thing I did want to mention that I haven't mentioned before is we do upload our budget information onto the business office website. We do that on a monthly basis. The information that we show to the board, since we have gone online and don't really pass out packets anymore, those are online for you to see. April's should be out there. If not, will be. And as soon as the meeting's over, we'll upload the May's. Again, we keep updating those and leave all that information on the website so you can see a tracking of what we presented. And then once the budget's adopted, then that's what stays out there for reporting purposes. Just to go over the calendar for the audience and for the board to see kind of the timeline. We are at the May 19th meeting. Typically, we would kind of give a proposed budget. Unfortunately, our budget is preliminary at this point, and that we don't know our final numbers for budget purposes from the state as far as the legislature and how much money we're going to receive. So we're kind of, it's still preliminary, and we're hoping, or we should, by the June board meeting, be able to give you information. And by June 9th, we'll have a possible budget workshop, which would be the agenda review meeting that month, so the board will see that the week before it's adopted. We publish that public hearing in the newspaper 10 days before the actual budget adoption. So June 16th is the date that's slated. Again, we don't adopt our tax rate until September when after we get our certified values. So as you can see in what we showed, actually starting in March, the number of bills that were passed through the legislature, 6,442. I said they believe that was around 300 more than in the last biennium. Bills on the move still as of last week were 203, and bills of interest 44. As of today, if you include today, there's 14 days remaining in the session, and the session does end June 1st. So we should know something by June 1st as far as what we'll be receiving. These are the priority bills that were heard in committee, that have been heard, still still out there. We had talked about these as far as tax credits, the ratings, the pre-K, tax relief, and so same thing that we've seen. Preliminary budget assumptions for 15-16, our estimated enrollment is 10,297, and our average daily attendance 9,421. That's about a 3% increase from last year. Our M&O tax rate is $1.04. Our CPTD values from the comptroller are at $3 billion. Our preliminary property tax values that we received from the appraisal district, which was our certified preliminary, received at the end of April, are 3.0 as well. And our debt service tax rate right now is 40 cents. We spoke about it last week. With the increase in property values, we do believe we'll be able to reduce that debt service tax rate again this year, at least by 2 cents and possibly 3, depending on where the certified values come in, so that's great news. Just to show you our property value history, we are showing a fairly large increase from 14-15 to 15-16. Again, when we get our rolls, there's still exemptions to be filed. There's still protests to be heard. So again, we'll have more information as those numbers and those protests are heard. As we know, and we talked about last week, the Senate Bill 1759 was pulled from the committee. And there are two plans basically that we're looking in as far as budget scenarios and how much money the district could possibly plan for next year. House Bill 1, which is an increase to the basic of allotment to $5,213 in 15-16, and then $5,218 in 16-17. This is a $2.2 billion additional funding to education statewide. For Bastrop, above current law, that's $3.3 million more. The Senate Bill 2, similar as far as just an increase to the basic allotment. This, however, is a $1.2 billion additional funding to education district-wide or statewide. This is 1.8 at one time. The last information I received, it's now 1.2, and that's a $2.3 million increase to the district above current law. So we're hoping to fall somewhere in the middle at least. Some priority goals for the 15-16 budget, of course, safety and security are always at the top of our list. And tonight there is an action item on the agenda for the law enforcement department, and we'll talk about that a little more. Mr. Edwards will give an update on that. But for safety and security, and you know in the last few years we've brought decision package items to the board. And these, again, are similar and just continue on with our safety and security package. The Raptor system at Gateway and Genesis, we use that at all of our campuses. We want to add that for the two alternative schools. Radios for Cedar Creek High School, there is a connectivity issue as far as getting service at the Cedar Creek High School, so we want to, we've been working with the county to help solve that. Intermediate safety access, as you know, at the elementaries, we've added those doors where you have to pass through the office for safety and security reasons. We're going to do a similar, or we're asking to do a similar safety access at the intermediates, additional security cameras, a new entrance at Gateway to help for security. The law enforcement department that the district is proposing, and when I say there's a budget impact of 0, that means for ongoing costs, our ongoing operating costs. There is a one-time cost that the district would incur for patrol cars, but this law enforcement department would include 3 staff, a chief and 2 peace officers, of course uniform and training. We would do this within our current security budget with the reorganization we've had and the going from actually contracted service to those actually being employees. On the instructional academic improvement side, of course, we're on year 2 of our early college high school, and also House Bill 5, the high school is going to an 8-period day. Continued bilingual and ESL support because that is an increased population in our district. We have salary increases proposed. I have a slide later that shows the actual increases that we're proposing. Additional math support for our elementary schools with instructional specialists, a freshman academy initiative. 12th growth positions, as you know, with the increase in enrollment, we have, of course, we'll need growth positions. We're gonna also ask tonight that those be passed early so that we can start adding those positions. We know at the elementary level, and then there's 7 at the elementary level and then some throughout the other campuses that we'll need, so we want to have those approved now so that we can start recruiting and hiring for those positions and get them when there's people available. Some secondary science equipment that the high schools had asked for, DAEP specialist, that should be one at the Gateway alternative school. Then secondary CATE and elective positions, RTI 504 support, and an increase in our substitute allocation. Again, just a little bit further information. As you know, we've been on an instructional special initiative over the years. This is year 4, and this year includes the elementary math specialist, 1 for each elementary campus. Right now, we have 1 specialist for 3 campuses. This would put an elementary specialist on each campus. Just some little background information on the early college high school, of what the projected enrollment will be next year, adding the new class and the teaching positions and full-time counselor being added. The House Bill 5 support, again, is the 8-period day, and then the additional FTEs at the high school to support that. bilingual education. We have a proposed bilingual ESL program manager in this budget as well. What you'll see when you look online to see the detailed information for the budget, there is budget consideration pages that have this detailed out in different scenarios, because as you know, in a legislative year, we give different scenarios depending on how much money we could actually end up having. For non-instructional areas, transportation contract, of course, we had approved that at the board meeting last month. There is a 9% increase for this year because of the increases they are needing to give the bus drivers to be competitive in the market. That gateway building, as far as the revamping of that entranceway, and then our Beyond the Bell program, an expansion of that because of our 21st century funding being lost. This is the salary increases that are in the budget right now in the different scenarios. Teachers, we have a 3% increase and a 2.5% increase under scenario 2. That's just a 2 and a 3% total increase into their current salary. On the paraprofessionals, that 3% is the 3% of the midpoint, because we use the midpoint TASB boxes. And then the administration and professional support is a 3% under scenario 1 and a 2.5%. Again, that's percentages of the midpoint, not of the total salaries. And so just to kind of give a little visual of the amount of budget requests, again, we meet with the campuses, and the total requests, and this is based on our scenario 2, so the campuses and district-wide, including salaries, are $4.1 million. And as you can see, the available to spend, and I showed you earlier on the slide, that was additional to current law. So you take what we would have gotten based on the current law and add that to our House bill. So if you can see, under the current law, if nothing happened, we would only have $810,000 more to spend this year than we had last year. Under House Bill 1 and Senate Bill 2, you can see what those equate to. So hoping we fall in that category somewhere between Senate Bill 2 and House Bill 1. We'll still may need to make some adjustments to the scenarios when you look at the requests. We do have decision package items, which we've done in the past, $951,000. As you know, in the last couple of years, we've asked the board for approximately $1 million on decision package items, technology, safety, and security. Of course, we haven't had to spend that much with our property values being the way they have, that we've been able to not spend that amount, but we have to ask that for the board because it could be a fund balance issue. So that would be another decision package for this coming year. So again, on this legislative year, the process will continue to monitor the legislative action. Our property values, again, will continue to monitor those as the protests and the exemptions are filed, to get those numbers more exact, and prioritize our needs based on our priority goals if we have to make changes once we know our final allocation. Again, much of the same information you received last week, but I'll be glad to answer any additional questions you may have.
Questions for Sandra? Thank you, Sandra. You'll just keep us updated on anything you hear from Austin on our scenarios. We're now going to move on to the consent agenda. If there's anybody that wants to pull an item, we can pull it now. If not, I want to entertain a motion to take it all with one motion.
I so move.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda, A through F. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Motion carries. We are now going to move to our action items. We'll start with Superintendent Murray.
4A, Mr. President, board members, we talked about this Thursday night. It's just another good thing. It's a way for us to show collectively with other boards and school districts across the state that we would like for our legislators and those making decisions on our behalf in Austin to really think about our curricula for our students going forward, that it be deeper and more meaningful, as opposed to, as it's referred to, a mile wide and an inch deep. We'd like to see more authentic learning and really change the way that we provide instruction and curriculum to our students. So that's what the resolution is about, and at this time we'd ask for your approval.
I so move.
A second.
It's moved and seconded to approve the assessment and accountability resolution. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Well, I'd
Got some
like to-
discussion?
may I
Sorry,
have-
Mallory.
yes.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'd like a little reflection on the part of our students, because this is really, one thing that this is about is our testing that has gone on. The high stakes testing is a term that's used, and it's accountability to the state and to the federal government for how our students are doing. So no one around this table has really experienced this kind of high stakes testing, but you all have since third grade. So I would just like to have, if you could, just think a minute about those experiences of preparing for the test and the day of the test and how you feel about it, and just share with us some of that, if you would do that. Anybody? Okay. Pat.
Well, at first I didn't really notice, like I'm talking about like since when I was younger, I didn't really notice how much we tested because I was so used to it. I came from a private school before attending high school, so we already did a lot of testing. And let's see, it seems like that's all we do at the school. And we still learn, but it's the be-all, end-all is the testing. Is what it seems.
Thank you. Yes.
Good way to put it, Kat, unfortunately. Yeah, that's a good way to put it, it really was. How about the rest of y'all? I mean, seniors you've been dealing with for many, many years. What's your feeling? And Robert, how about you? I want to hear from you, because Robert didn't say it, but Robert moved here from Italy a little over a year ago, right? Robert?
Last April.
Yeah. So is that different from what you experienced in Italian schools? Much different? Is it?
Well, compared to Italian schools, over here we do seem to test a lot more, and even daily grades, we didn't really have those in Italy. They concentrated more on lecturing and teaching us things, and then we'd just have like a big test at the end of it.
More like a college model?
But I'm not totally opposed to more frequent testing. It makes sure you keep up to date with your knowledge. I just wish there was a different way to test the students' intelligence, though, because, I mean, some people just aren't good test takers. Maybe some are just really nervous that day and they don't do so well, and it can affect their whole lives.
Yeah, Destiny made a good point about that earlier when Mr. Hudson was up there. Destiny, I mean, thank you for making that point. You made it earlier.
Yes, like everyone else said, we do test a lot. I feel like we also test a lot in school, like in our math classes and our basic classes. But at the end of the year, when we have to take, well, we don't have to take it because we finished. But if we didn't finish, I'm telling you, it would be a big issue. Like if we didn't finish taking all of our tests last year, I'm thinking that it would be a big issue. The class would definitely shrink in graduating and everything like that. But I mean, the teachers, they prepare us to the best of our ability to take those tests. And I feel like that's why we test so much, is because they're just trying to help us the best way they can, because they don't have any control that we have to take the STAR. It's just something that we have to do. So they do a good job in helping us and giving us like options to go to tutoring or anything like that. So I think they do a good job by preparing us since we have to take it. So.
I have a question. Oh, okay, go ahead, please.
Hannah.
Sorry. Yes, I do. Anyway, I agree with everything that they've said. It does feel like all we do is test. However, our teachers do have the best intentions at heart. They do, however, teach us things that are strictly on the curriculum that they're given for preparing us for that test. And we don't really branch out, so we're not expanding in our learning. And when it comes to test day, like I recently last week just took my first AP test, and I was ready to die that morning. And as well prepared as I was, and my teacher had been drilling us since day one, I still felt this sense of dread because those standardized tests are just so difficult. And when it comes to the even further advanced, all those AP tests, they don't actually know what's going to be on them, so they just do their best. And even though they cover topics, they don't cover it as deeply as you need, or they cover the wrong things, and it just causes confusion for our students.
I guess my question to all of y'all, following up on that, would be, what do you think would be a better way of assessing what you've learned and to prove the acquisition of knowledge that you had in the learning as opposed to the standardized testing? Can you think of something that would be, you think, more fair or accurate representation of what you've accomplished?
I believe that there should be a test. There should be some kind of test, you know? Like, it shouldn't be so many. I feel like if they could give, like, we take the SAT and the ACT, and it kind of has all subjects on it. If they could give us a test with just all the subjects instead of taking, oh, your English test is in April and your math test is in, that's a lot. And that's where it comes in and it gets stressful to students. But like, if I went in there and I took the SAT test, I knew it was going to be all different subjects, and I was only going to have to take it once or twice, and it's like a relief. So I think that there should be a test, but as far as 14, no, that's way too many.
Maybe. Okay. See, I'm not a big fan of those big tests. I believe more that we should base it on how much effort the students put in during the school year. It's not just about learning the material, it's putting in the effort towards your learning. So the students that are making Fs and Cs and these horrible grades but can go in and take these great tests and keep themselves above failing for their horrible work ethic need to be, I guess, caught. Not so much punished, just caught. And, you know, by administering 14 tests, it's a little crazy. But if we were to look at maybe, you know, instead of having statewide tests, we did those, but we did, you had to make a certain grade on the state test, but you also had to make a certain grade throughout the year, meaning that your work ethic was going to help you in the next coming years and prepare you for things like that. It would work better for our students, and it would help them be ready for further education and things like that.
Bless you. Bless you.
And I also wanted to say, as far as like testing in elementary school and intermediate and stuff, I think that the tests are more to like prepare us for the future and like everything like that. I think it means more if we test in high school, as far as I still don't want that many, but rather than testing in like elementary and intermediate school, because basically you're working your way up to graduate. So this is the moment when it means the most. And right now they're just taking tests that are not compared at all to what we're taking now. So I think they mean more in high school rather than in elementary grades. And I don't think that they should. Thank you.
Kat wants to say something, I think. Did you say something?
So I guess kind of to add to what they said, or to disagree a little bit, I don't know. I guess I'm just weird. I kind of enjoy taking those big tests because really, like, testing is probably the most efficient way for you to get feedback on how you are doing in school. So that's probably why they give so many. But I don't know. Like, I liked taking the SAT because it's like, oh, yay, I get to see how well I do. It's kind of like competitive. Maybe other people think like me.
If you don't like the grade
Yeah,
you
I've
got.
taken it twice so far, and I'm a junior, so.
And you probably have good grades. That may be why you like it.
And good work ethic too, probably. Yes.
Well, I have had this conversation with these students before. You know, a few years back, we had some tags on a couple of those high schools that said they were underperforming, low performing. And I remember asking the students, do you feel like you go to a failing school or underperforming school? And to a person, they said, absolutely not, Mr. Murray. That shouldn't be the only thing that dictates our rating in the state of Texas, is a one-time sit-down test. And that's, I think that's what they're talking about. They all believe assessment is appropriate. I've said that to them many times. We all believe accountability is important. But to dictate and say that you are either a failing or a passing school based on a sit-down test, I think is what I've heard them talk about more than anything else.
And you all have been very insightful, and I think you've really demonstrated what the resolution says, is that we want to go deeper. It doesn't mean we aren't accountable, but it's spending so much time on just that one aspect is what we would like to change. So thank you very much.
See, we just don't talk about dress code and lunches, do we?
No, we talk about wall clocks and mirrors, though.
Yeah,
So we have a motion. We have a motion and a second on the floor. We need to go ahead, if there's no more discussion, we need to call for a vote. All those in favor of the assessment of the accountability resolution, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Motion carries. We'll move on to action item 4B.
Mr.
Barry
Edwards?
Edwards.
Thank you, Mr. Allen, Mr. Murray, members of the board. As Sandra presented her budget presentation, I'm here this evening seeking approval in advance of the budget and of the school year of 12 teaching positions. As you all know, the district is growing. We'd like to get the prior approval of these positions so that we can start to hire those in the peak hiring season. And I do want to let the board know that we'll only hire them as we need. We have it projected, but we will use these judiciously as we move forward in the hiring process. So if there aren't any questions.
Is it, the timing is very important to get the resumes and that sort of thing?
Yes,
for-
Dr. Mix, because right now is when people are starting to look and relocate. And as you get deeper into the summer, people start getting more committed to where they are. They don't want to leave. And so generally the pool gets shallow.
Yeah. And Mr. Edwards, is the scenario, if we have to fill all 12, are those monies budgeted in scenario 1 or 2? They're both in
In all the
there.
scenarios presented, these positions are accounted for. Thank you.
And we are pretty sure about what campuses are going to be assigned.
Absolutely. As we've shared with you, we've met with the campus administration department heads, gone back around to campuses and looked at our numbers multiple times as far as our growth patterns. And so, yes, we're confident.
Thank you.
If there's no more questions for Barry, we'll entertain a motion.
So move.
Second.
Moved and second to approve and issue contracts for 12 initial teaching positions for growth 2015-16 as needed. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We'll move on to action item 4C. Mr. Murray, Barry Evans.
Principals are happy. Thank you all. The next agenda item, again, Sandra covered in detail as far as the financial aspect of our safety and security and law enforcement initiative. The process starts every year. We do a needs assessment. We review where we are in all issues of the district. This one specifically is related to safety and security across our district. So back in January, administration started meeting with stakeholders and started talking to people about what are our needs, what is the current condition of where we are in Bastrop Independent School District. And obviously, safety is at the top of our list. We have many initiatives in place that we've requested through decision packages. What's unique about what we're proposing this evening and seeking approval is, based on the information that we've sent you, we'd like to create the Bastrop Independent School District Law Enforcement, or a police force, that consists of 1 chief and 2 certified peace officers. We believe that this will help further initiate the safety and security in the school district. We shared information with you in April and then again in May, and then we got into detail last Thursday to get into the specifics of it. And so at this time, we're recommending that the board consider approving the creation of the Bastrop Police Force comprised of the chief and 2 peace officers, as well as the safety and security budget and decision package that Sandra outlined during her budget process. Again, time is of the essence for us because we presented a policy for you to consider. We need to get that approved so that we can get our job posted, get our chief hired, start to hire our peace officers, and get the resolutions and the memorandums of understanding with the sheriff's office and the city police office, because this is going to be a partnership between all the law enforcement agencies. Therefore, we're seeking the approval of these initiatives this evening.
I might want to add, Barry, just something for the people in the audience that haven't maybe heard this before, but the board knows this is the case, that we're talking about chief of police, but we're also talking about that person serving in the role of chief operating officer. We have a vacancy in that area, and so we're going to be having this person that'll be, the posting will be somebody who not only has the law enforcement experience, but has managerial and leadership experience, master's degree, and the type of experience that they could lead in the operations area, not only in the security area.
And that's exactly right, Mr. Murray. Sandra touched on it. As part of the reorganization of the department, This person would be our chief operations officer as well as our chief of police, and would have a master's degree in law enforcement and experience with law operations as well.
Yeah, and I'd like to make a note as well. I know the police chief's here, and thank you for coming out here tonight, the city of Bastrop, and I know you're also new to the area as well. And so I think it's, and Mr. Edwards and Mr. Murray can probably vouch for this, the relationship has been really great. Meeting expectations, service has been awesome. I think more of the concern is over the 450 square miles of busing routes that we have, and the rural exposure that we have is just some areas that we need to take it to the next step. And so we definitely look forward to a great partnership, and hope to continue the great things that have been going on over the years.
And Mr. Muchnick, if I may, that's exactly right. We spoke to the chief already about this initiative and the proposal, and he was very forthcoming and providing job descriptions and things of that nature. So we anticipate it's going to be a very cooperative venture for both teams.
The other thing Barry may want to mention, this is not uncommon for districts. It's getting more popular and more popular in ISDs.
It is. You're seeing it grow, especially in ISDs that have multi-jurisdictional. So we have the city PD, we have a sheriff's PD, and so yes, you do see this. It's one of the primary reasons.
I'd like to hear from Mr. Murray's advisory committee here. What are y'all's thoughts on this move? Hannah, you're just chomping at the bit.
I'm perfectly okay with the increase in security. It will help our students feel safer and help them learn, because that is proven that when you feel safe, you learn better. However, we do need to worry about the physical fitness of these officers, and I know that sounds horrible, but these are high school students, and if they are caught doing something illegal, chances are they're going to run. So, long-range chasers or fit officers?
Thank you, Hannah. We will definitely keep that in mind.
Tell us how you feel there, Hannah.
Drop and give me 20.
Destiny, how you feel?
I also think that it's a great idea. Safety and security is very important to me. And when I'm in the school for 8 hours a day, I for sure want to feel safe. So I think it's great that
Thank you, Destiny.
Thanks, y'all.
Guys, if we have any more questions for Barry, we can certainly entertain a motion.
I move for approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the Safety and Security Law Enforcement Initiative and budget consideration. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Barry.
Bet.
Can I ask Robert a question here real quick? Coming from a different school system, different country, how did y'all deal with security, or how did you feel about the security of the schools that you were in there compared to here?
Well, honestly, we didn't have any collaboration with the police force. However, I did come from a fairly small school of about 500 students, not too many. Security was mostly handled by teachers on patrol, or I guess our equivalent of APs. Then again, safety in the schools of Italy has never really been threatened. Nothing bad has happened, and I'm sure if it did, policies might go into effect.
Good point. Thank you, John.
Great. We are now going to move to action item 4D. Sandra?
Yes, we put out a bid for our bank depository contract, and we actually received 3 bids back. There are 9 banks in the district that we sent them to. We received bids from First National, Prosperity Bank, and Wells Fargo, and we are recommending the board award the contract for depository services to First National Bank of Bastrop.
Okay. We'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
A second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the bank depository bid. It's given to First National Bank. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. We have one abstain. Ashley's going to abstain, so we'll have one abstain. Motion carries. 6-0.
All right.
Now we can move on to action item E.
Right, this is the item we added at the agenda review for the county vehicles that are involved in the fire mitigation through the FEMA project with Bastrop County. They're going to be fueling their vehicles at our transportation department, much like some of the other county entities do. But with this being a federal project, we need an interlocal agreement approved and signed by the district. The county's already approved it on their end, so we need it approved. And I believe that project will start at the first part of June, so we needed to have it approved in May. So.
Okay.
Mr. Allen, I'm going to abstain from this motion as well.
Okay.
I move for approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the interlocal cooperative purchasing agreement with the county for Bastrop for the vehicle fuel services. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries 6-0. One abstain. Be a good time for questions. Anybody have any question for our students?
Like Hannah said, what do you want me to ask you, Hannah? You got that smile on your face over here. Absolutely.
How many more dumb things can I say before I never have to come back?
Oh, I tell you, you keep smiling, we're going to get you to keep coming back, so that's awesome.
In that case, will you stay at my friend group punch your card?
Hey, is there, I was just curious, the year's coming down to an end, and both schools have been going through the process of the advisory committee meeting with Mr. Murray. Is there anything we can change about that process that would improve it?
Don't say Mr. Murray.
That one's not an option.
That's better, yes.
Overall, I think our meetings run well. We get a lot done. We get a lot of cooperation with not just Mr. Murray, but with our principals and our APs and things like that, getting things done without just, the superintendent's pull. We do hear back very fast. We get good results, even for things that we don't bring to Mr. Murray and that we bring to our campus leaders and things like that.
Thank you.
And I'd also like to point out that it's very efficient how the members of the Superintendent Student Council are a variety of people. I mean, we have athletes, we have people in theater, and it's pretty equal based on gender. I mean, there's no discrimination and everyone's voice is heard.
Nice.
We're doing, or Mr. Murray has done his best to get a group of people to represent the student body as a whole.
I would also like to say that I like how it's ran. A lot of people as I have learned as my 4 years on the council, a lot of people like to blame a lot of stuff on Mr. Murray. It's easy to just say, oh,
So do we.
superintendent. But a lot of things that we talk about, they get done quickly because it really has nothing to do with you. I mean, you just basically relay the word for us, like you're just basically our voice pretty much, and you just hear us out, and that's pretty much all it is, and it works well, and I love it. So
Mr. Murray, on behalf of both our councils, and I'm sure I can speak for both of us when we say this, we thank you for your efforts to incorporate us and for your willingness to have our voice heard. Thank you as well, board, for allowing us to do this and to have our input put in.
That's a great point. And I've mentioned many times to our student advisory councils that I don't know of any other board in the state of Texas, or maybe a few that invite students every once in a while to come hear reports or presentations. But this model is quite unique, and I credit our board for being open-minded enough to have our students in. Have y'all gotten an indication tonight on why I'm so blessed to have these students to meet with each month?
Absolutely.
Maybe that gives you an idea.
We have Kelly Seacat's got a question.
I just had a question about what do you think this serving on the board has taught you that you'll carry into the future? My two seniors, especially, that are graduating and going on.
The board has taught me basically a lot of communication positives that I'll be able to take with me throughout life we learn, like, we talk about a lot of things on the board, but it's not just a big gripe session. We don't mention teachers' names. It's all just very confidential, and it basically teaches you how to be when you go, like, if you're in a business, when you get older and you have meetings with people and you don't like what a certain person is doing, you just don't, like, call them out in front of everyone, pretty much. It teaches you really just how to communicate in the future as you get older and as you learn more. So it just, I don't know, it's just such a great opportunity to be on the council. It's taught me so much, more than Mr. Murray will ever know. Like, I am so grateful to be a part of this. It's really helped me grow as a person. So yeah, I think they can say the same as well.
I mean, I know I've only been on the council 1 year, but I'm pretty sure this rule has been around. It's if we have a problem to come with a solution. And I think that's a great thing that we can carry on into our future lives. I mean, it does no good just to complain about something if you don't have any way to solve it. And I think we can use that in the future.
Robert, what are you going to do next year?
Like I said earlier, I was hoping to attend Austin Community College and then
Okay.
after a couple years transfer into A&M.
Any field in particular?
Engineering, aerospace engineering.
Okay. Fantastic.
One thing I have learned from being a part of the board is that it taught me to be more perceptive to the needs of, like, others, like, around the school. Because once people hear that you're part of something, that where your voice gets heard, and then they, like, take it to a bigger level where people can actually start changing things, they start letting you know more about how to make the school, like, better or more efficient. I don't know, more homely, kind of.
That's a great point, Kat. We've learned about representation, haven't we? We've learned, just like y'all are a microcosm of the board I'm sitting with right now. They're elected officials, and they represent the thousands of people in this district, in Bastrop County. And in like terms, we talk about the fact that 20 of y'all come and you represent the 1,500 or 1,400, respectively, of your two high schools. And they do a great job of bringing their friends and their fellow students' issues forward. Anna, were you going to say something?
We've also learned not just what Kat was saying, which was a brilliant thing, but we've also gone on to being respectful of other people's point of view when we're listening to their problems and helping them come up with solutions that may seem rational to us, but aren't, because we don't fully understand their circumstances or things like that. It helps us get a deeper understanding of other people and how they think and how everyone can come to a common solution, even though we all see things differently.
Great point.
We've definitely learned how to compromise because, being a high school student, of course, you're going to look at your peers and sometimes they say stuff and you're just like, how did you say that? But, we learn how to work together. And, like, I've been a class officer and a student council officer for 4 years, and in student council, you deal with the whole student body, and as a class officer, you deal with just your class, and there's so many different opinions coming at you, and I definitely can say that I've learned how to take other people's opinions into perspective, because before, I tend to think I'm right, and and so it just teaches you how to be, not only think about how you think things should be done in your way, but how it can be done in other ways and incorporating different people's opinions as well. So, and a lot of people don't know that our board is basically selected by students. So every year we meet and we say, oh, I think this person should be on the board. They're a part of this. It's not just Mr. Murray just saying, oh, I don't know, I'm going to pick this person because they seem like a good person. But we actually get to give insight on those people, and so it's great. It is.
Hey, Destiny, as you move through life, you're going to look at adults too sometimes and go, why'd you say that?
I know.
You, Mr. Murray.
I would like to congratulate the board, the rest of the board members, and Mr. Murray and all of you to have this model in place and to be able to interact with the students and get your feedback on what it is we're doing and how what we do affects what you do. And it's a wonderful model. I really appreciate the opportunity to have them at these meetings. I'd like to extend that to all the rest of the members of the council, and it's nice having you guys here. Thanks. Even if we try to pick on you a little bit. That's part of it.
Good job, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we're down to our information items. Do you have anything on that? No?
It's all for information.
Okay. Information items only. Our next meeting will be of graduation. Yeah. Some things coming up here, some important dates coming up. A couple of you guys. Other than that, we don't have anything. If not, move to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Moved and seconded to adjourn. I want to thank everybody for coming out to our May meeting. I look forward to seeing a lot of you guys at graduation coming up. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Say welcome again to Ms. Katz,
Yep.
a new member.
Welcome, Ms. Seacats.
Welcome.